Alrighty guys, we're back for Simic Ramp, and this is a Through the Omenpaths standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. On the top end, we have Impostor Syndrome. 6 mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. What I want to pair with this is actually Koma, World Eater. 7 mana, 8/12. It can't be countered. Trample, Ward 4 ought to come in handy, right? When it deals combat damage to a player, you create 4/3/3 blue serpent creature tokens named Koma's Coil. Really cool one to potentially copy with the Syndrome. And then once you get the Koma copy on the board, the token is no longer legendary. So the token could be a really cool one to copy with something like Doppelgang, right? So a couple of these making the cut and pairing beautifully with literally everything in here except for the actual legendary Koma, right? So other things on the top end, couple Marang River Regents, a couple Vaultborn Tyrants. River Regent being dragon matters because Bloomvine Regent's in here as a 2-of as well, and it cares about dragons entering. The extra life gain on Regent is pretty good. Same thing with the Wildling here too. Guys, we got to do some serious rearranging thanks to all the omens on all of these dragons, helping us grab land out of the deck list, helping us draw a little better too. Rearranging with the impending cost on the Overlord is pretty important as well. Also here at the top end, we have Vaultborn Tyrant helping us restock our hand and even more life gain packed in. So you ramp into this top end successfully and the opponent's in danger, dude. We got a lot of just fantastic cards packed in. So we have early creatures as well, like Skyserpent Seeker. Flying Death Touch 1/1 is not half bad. It has the exhaust for 4. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal 2 lands. Put those lands onto the battlefield tapped and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature as well, so it becomes a 2/2 flyer, which, you know, that's something. But really, it's in here for the exhaust, but then also just being an early creature that can trade into an important thing that the opponent is trying to establish early on too. Like, for example, a Johnny's Pride Mate that's getting a little too chunky. And also the Death Touch works well with the removal we have packed in. I actually have 2 hard-hitting questions, and by the time we ramp into our top-end creatures too, our top-end creatures are pretty chunky, so hard-hitting questions should help us clean up a lot of different things. A couple pieces of counter spells in here, even though we don't have too many ways to like bounce things back, or there's not a lot of tempo packed in general. I think Divert Disaster makes sense because when the opponent does pay the 2, you get the lander token, and that's just another way to actually ramp you into that significant top end. A couple Fenrirs making the cut in this one, and an Aetherize as an emergency. Now we have one of Vivien Reid, and we have a couple Make Your Own Lucks as well. I'm not going to take the time to read either of those right now. Honorable mentions, Bushwhack and Quantum Riddler almost made the cut. Now for a ramp deck list, we actually don't have too many land. We got 24, which is pretty normal. But with so many ways to rip land out of the deck, I think it would be silly to have 25 or 26. But we'll see. Maybe we'll be in desperate need of finding our 3rd on time or something. But 24 mana should be more than enough to do that. Alright guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some Ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I love Simic Ramp, man. I'm expecting a lot here, actually. We have some serious power packed in. We'll see how much Impostor Syndrome does today. Okay, opponent goes first, which is super sketchy, but I'm going to keep this. We got Skyserpent Seeker. Llanowar Elves. Opponent, is it going to be a turn 2 Tifa with a Snakeskin Veil open opponent? Because if so, that's totally fine. I don't have a way to deal with the Tifa anyways. Maybe it's just Mossborn Hydra turn 2. It is actually, which isn't terrible, I suppose. The Skyserpent Seeker down. And be Traveling Chocobo and Fable Passage. No, close enough though, Evolving Wilds. So unfortunately, Mossborn Hydra kills us this turn? No, it's a 16-16. My bad, guys. My bad. For some reason, I thought it was going to be a 32-32. So they're just planning on finishing us next turn. And unfortunately, we don't have any of our removal or any pieces to actually deal with the Mossborn Hydra. There's not a lot of removal and stuff packed in, guys. So the opponent went just a little bit too fast for us, unfortunately. We can get the Overlord down, get some ramp, but then pretty much no matter what, we die here, right? Because the odds of them missing land is very, very low. Ordeal, that also works if they missed the land, right? But oh, also on top of their library for the Traveling Chocobo, they found an Evolving Wilds. Okay. I asked this in another video from, I think, this week, but I was wondering if there's a way, if there's a card that gets rid of trample on a creature. So let me know in the comments if there is a way to do that, because that would be a pretty funny card to play right now with all the landfall we've been seeing. So honestly, guys, even with some removal, this would have been a pretty tough uphill battle, as we only got 3 turns. so that's going to happen a lot, I would say, which is why you can see a lot of people leaning into that early removal and early board wipes and stuff too. Or the other explosive deck lists for that matter as well, which is like we're seeing a lot of the mono white successfully runs Sheltered by Ghost too, which is a great one. Versus mono green, of course. No green source in hand, we drop the mulligan. Much better. And then we can get rid of the Impostor Syndrome because we have 4 of them in the deck list. And Impostor Syndrome was the draw. Nice. All right, so we'll grab a... Doesn't really matter here, right? I'll grab a blue source without any worries. No, I'll grab a green source, I guess. Like I said, it doesn't really matter which source we actually grab. A 2nd mana from the opponent. We can go ahead and play the Breeding Pool down tapped without any worries here. Bloomvine Regent is an excellent draw. The question is it going to get countered by the opponent when they pass it back? All right. Let's see it, opponent. Let's see it, buddy. Bloomvine Regent. If it lands, wow. Hey, there we go. Now we're talking, dude. Yep. With a make your own luck in hand, like seriously, we're talking. Yeah, maybe I should have grabbed the blue source. Okay, 3 mana open, 1 blue source. No counterspell last turn should tell us all we need. Probably isn't a counterspell this turn either. Probably just like open removal or something. There's no way we don't try this. We definitely try the make your own luck. Wow. All right. Exile non-land card. 2 overlords here. The rest go to our hand. It's another forest too, so we're going to have to call blue on the Multiversal Passage, which is totally fine. If the opponent has, it's going to be a cease. So some form of control, right? But where's their counter spells? 5th mana. It's another forest. Oh my. Alright, well. Free Overlord first. See what happens. Gotta be some spot removal here for these incredible creatures. Oh, a full-blown Ride's End. Okay. Right. Well, I guess we take the turn while they're tapped out to establish Impostor Syndrome. I guess I will take... We have to take the 2 to get blue down because Impostor Syndrome's double blue. All because I didn't grab that island earlier, huh? So Impostor Syndrome's in danger versus this deck list because Get Lost exists. And since Impostor Syndrome's an enchantment, right? But we'll see. We'll see, because a Get Lost on the Syndrome means no Get Lost for the Tyrant. And I guess, actually, we'd prefer Get Lost for the Tyrant over in Exile anyways. Marang River Region's pretty good. Alright. Vaultborn Tyrant, right? Wow, comes down no issues. Probably just more spot removal then. Yeah, we don't have to worry about counterspells right now. Is it going to be Exile spot removal for the Tyrant? That's the question. It is. It's going to be Exile spot removal, and the end takes the other Tyrant out of the deck list as well, which is actually really brutal, man. Yeah, Tyrant's a pretty good top end in here, and we can imagine that the opponent has more of the end packed in, and so if they just start stripping away all the things on the top end with the end, we could be in some serious danger. So they know what's in our hand now, which is unfortunate. Maybe we go card draw on the River Regent then, and we do it on our turn. Still have 5 open for the Overlord if that's what we want to do. But I think there's a chance we see like another make your own luck and stuff here too. Fenrir's pretty good. We go ahead and discard the forest they know about. That's fine. Yeah, we just go into the Overlord over the Fenrir though, right? Although thinning the deck list with the Fenrir could be pretty good too. Especially since we have so much mana. We haven't seen much of the opponent's deck list yet, but I mean, okay, stock up probably just finds some spot removal for the Overlord, right? 4th open mana here too, maybe. If they wanted the 4th open. Strategic Betrayal, nice. The breeding pool is pretty bad, as we definitely don't need to see any more mana for a while. Let's just go ahead and go Doppelgang for 2 or something here as well. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Willowrush is 8. X is 2 on the Doppelgang. Copy. What land do you got over there, opponent? Okay, yeah. Copy Impostor Syndrome and Fenrir. Pretty good, man. It's pretty good. And grab a blue. Grab a forest. And that's enough land. No more land off the top, guys. Let's see if board wipe number 1 comes down from the opponent here. Oh. Cease and desist number 2. They drop the desist, destroy all artifacts and all enchantments. Oh no, guys. Oh no, it's mana. No. Hey, sometimes Magic the Gathering does the Magic the Gathering thing, huh? We are 16 cards in, and we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 land. Oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah. We're 26 cards into the deck list. They drop a Deadly Cover-Up just to rip some stuff out of the deck list here, which I agree with. They have controlled us very well, especially if we keep top decking land too, so I totally agree with this. Which one did they grab here? Doppelgang. Oh no. Goodbye, Doppelgang. Skyserpent, not terrible, and it's mana off the top. Oh no, guys. Let's go ahead and exhaust this ability. And enters tapped. Yep, totally fine. All blue, totally fine. Enters tapped. There we go. Even more significant deck thinning, as eventually we'll just have all 24 of our main land. Etramos. Chosen by Velgavoth. Holy cow. Hey, Marang River Regent's a really good draw, huh? They'll probably just do all that again next turn, too. Got 29 cards remaining. Is going for the card draw better here, or do we bounce the Ketramos and the Chosen. No, we just bounce Ketramos, right? Because then the Chosen goes away. Good draw, man. Really good draw. And you know what? I should have swung for 2 because I think it's totally worth recasting Skyserpent. Oops, I missed 2 damage this turn, guys. But this is worth it because we really need to do some deck thinning. That way the rest of the game is just good draws. We find 2 Willowrush Verge. Nice. Is that enough mana on the board yet, guys? I can't tell. Is it enough? You know, it would be crazy. Doppelgang, but the opponent took it out of the deck list, guys. Oh no. Right, the end for the Marang is a good target. The opponent is ripping our deck list apart into pieces. So how much mana? So we don't want to count the everywheres because these were generated tokens. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19 mana on the board. We do top deck land, which means there's only 2 land remaining in the entire deck list of 25 cards, guys. Am I right in that assessment? Because that's crazy. That's a really low chance of seeing mana at this point in the game. Ketramos comes back down. Do they have the second chosen by Vel'Gavoth? That's the question. They miss it. Bloomvine Regent. There's probably no forest remaining, right? We probably have all the forests out of the deck list. There's one there. Yeah. All the forests are gone, so we just go 5 mana side of the Bloomvine Regent. We actually got to keep the creature on the board, guys. Huge news for us. This is a rough one, dude. The opponent's deck list is scary. Although, maybe I should have known that the second Cease and Desist was in the opponent's deck list, and maybe we should have played around the desist. Oh, deadly cover-up. Guys. Should I concede since we're at 24 still, and the opponent's on we're on a 6-turn clock here? That's a very long time. They take all the Bloomvine Regent out of the deck list. Oh no. Okay, couple more turns. Guys, always keep an eye. Down in the description we have chapters. And if you mouse over, I'm sorry, it's timestamps. That's what they call them in the description. And then there's chapters at the bottom of the video if you mouse over. Always feel free to skip ahead. Wow, Aetherize is not half bad, honestly, but that's funny, man. Look at all that land on the board. Wow. That's something else. Yeah, 22 land plus the everywhere, so 24 land on the board. See if the Aetherize hits here. It's just a little bit of a tempo. It gives us 1 extra turn instead of the 6-turn clock. Oh man, recast the Ketramos. They'll get to attack with it again next turn. I think since most of our top end is gone. Oh, nice opponent. Yeah, since most of the top end's gone, Vaultborn Tyrant's out, Marang is out, Bloomvine Regent is out. Let's go grab the last 2 lands of the deck list, guys. I don't think I've ever had that happen, ever. No, it's only 1 land. Oh, I did miscount somewhere. And Pinnacle Star Cage picks up the Seeker. This is funny, dude. So all the land is out of the deck list. 20 cards remain here. They go ahead, they exile Impostor Syndrome, Divert Disaster. Honestly, thank goodness the Divert Disaster's gone, huh? So since it only did 2, they weren't able to cast like the Impostor Syndrome off of the Fangkeeper. It was for the best, but can you imagine that would have actually been really cool, Impostor Syndrome over there. And they do actually find Chosen by Vel'Gavoth. Vivien is one of like the best cards we could have seen here, as Vivien can go -3 to pop the Chosen. Which is good, but then we lose the Vivien, and the +1 on the Vivien's probably still really good too, right? Most of our top end's out, but we still have Koma in the deck list. All right. A lot of decisions here. I'm going to say we try to find that Koma. Top 4 cards. That's not Koma, but I guess Overlord of the Hauntwoods blocks pretty well. More life gain. This could just chump though. So Overlord of the Hauntwoods is totally fine. And if the opponent misses removal, maybe we get to keep Vivien around. Oh, it's still going to be a chump because Ketramos is getting the +2/+2 from the Chosen. So what do you guys think? Did I play this one out well, or there weren't like a whole lot of incredibly valuable decisions in this one, right? The opponent has kind of just controlled us significantly. Chosen by Vel'Gavoth. Number 3. You want to swing and swing at the Vivien, so we don't have the -3. No, they go Kodas to face to try to play some free cards here. I'm going to keep the Vivien around. Ketramos has Menace, guys. Oh. I'm sorry, Vivien. I'm sorry. What have I done? There's still a chance we could have found Koma, though. Wow. Make your own luck. There's the Koma. You know what we need right now? We don't have enough mana. We need to cast the Koma for free next turn. No, so the one you exile. So, for example, a hard-hitting question isn't going to do much here versus 2 indestructible creatures. We're going to just go Overlord for free next turn. The other 2 go to your hand. So we can just outright cast the Koma. And then we do have the hard-hitting question to pop the robot, which is something. Which we might as well do, right? Nah, we might as well not, too. There might be a better target. It's too bad they have so much indestructible here. We're at 14. You know what? Maybe we can start to race a little bit. We'll swing with the Overlord and see. Maybe they chump. That would be a way to get rid of the robot while saving the hard-hitting question. Oh, yeah, guys. They don't take any damage. The Chosen by Vel... Oh, do they get to choose which one takes the damage? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so don't swing until Chosen by Vel'Gavoth is gone. But with Marang River Regent out of the deck list... and Vivien in the grave, I don't know if there's a way through, guys. I don't know if we can actually do this damage. Wow, Impostor Syndrome is fantastic. We had the free Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Is there anything we can do to get rid of the Chosen by Vel'Gavoth? Because we already used the Aetherize as well. We might as well use that. We might as well go for the full swing. I guess there's nothing we can do, guys, because Koma will never... actually hit face. They do full block the Koma as well. We can reassign that like that. They got 2 indestructibles. So nothing hits their face. This is a concede, right? We should get out of here. Koma's gone too. Good game, opponent. Let's skedaddle, guys. Let's get out of here, because I think if I completely played it out, there's a couple ways to concede. We could play it out, let them swing in. It's a 2-turn clock. But then it would just kind of feel bad too. Like, I still have blocks. We still have the Overlords on the board. Or we could just say they completely controlled us. They had the Chosen by Vel'Gavoth on the board with Indestructible. All of the cards that we could possibly do to deal with that. I'd say the most significant one would be Marang River Regent. Was ripped out of the deck list, whether by the end or the Deadly Cover-Up. So what a brutal deck list from the opponent. And also some pretty bad draws in the mid game there from us too. So yeah, maybe I could have played it out better as well. It's very possible. We'll probably end up calling green on the Multiversal Passage. But we can start with the Breeding Pool. Yeah, even with the Vivien going -3 to take out the first Chosen by Vel'Gavoth, they still had the second one too, so we still would have pretty much never been able to get the damage through to the opponent's face, right? Okay, Divert Disaster is open for their turn 3, which is pretty good. It's worthwhile. 2-mana card for a 2-mana card, and Fear of Missing Out is a good one. Yep, we do it while we have it. Here comes the green, pay the 2. Fenrir better than Overlord? If we thought that we were going to actually see mana off the top, it is, because the extra counter on the Overlord's excellent. But this thins the deck list. Get the impending cost roll in here. Yeah, I don't want to thin the deck list right now, guys. We're just going to go Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Get the impending cost roll in. Zombify. Yep, Bahamut pops the Overlord anyways, and we are in danger. This is an enchantment creature, so Vivien does deal with it. And it's a creature with flying, too. But the question is, are we going to get there in time? As anything we end up playing now will go ahead and get popped. We could go, like, Aetherize off the swing. Bounce them both back to hand. They just have a chance. I mean, I guess that is pretty good, right? But they just play Fear of Missing Out, get Bahamut back into the grave. They'll have to do the whole Reanimator dance again. It's better just to keep Aetherize open. Yeah. I'd love to ramp right into the Vivien, but if they do end up bringing Bahamut back again after all this, Vivien will still be able to clean it up, so. There's the swing, Aetherize. They do have 4 mana open. I don't know what it would be for an Aetherize and Rakdos, but I recast the Fear of Missing Out. Oh, Demand Answers, get the Bahamut back into the grave that way. At that point, they'll probably have Delirium here. Yep, instant, enchantment creature, and sorcery. So they do have Delirium on the Fear of Missing Out now, which is pretty scary. See what else they send to the grave. It's going to be a Trumpeting Connoisseur. Nice. We do find the 5th for the Vivien, if that's what we want to do. Or, I guess, this turn, we need to save Vivien as a surprise to take care of the Bahamut. This turn, we could just play the Overlord full-powered. Or play Breeding Pool tapped and do card draw on the Marang River Regent. That would also work. But this is fine. Let's see if they do find some reanimation here. By going Overlord, we did not thin the deck list, which could be important when it comes time to get the 7. So there's Zombify number 2. Goodbye, Overlord. Fear of Missing Out, going to be swinging for 4 total this turn. In danger. We're in danger, guys. No matter what, Bahamut has to die to the Vivien, then Vivien dies to the Fear of Missing Out, and only 1 swing on the Fear of Missing Out, too. We do have the 7 for Koma, but what are we going to do about Bahamut? Get Koma down, Bahamut targets it for free, then they pay the ward 4 without any issues. We could also just go Marang River Regent for 6 mana, bounce these back to hand, Fear of Missing Out, dumps the Bahamut again. Actually, that's pretty good, isn't it? That's pretty good. Just going for the bounce on the Regent. You go back to hand, you go back to hand. It's not like the greatest thing to give them the ETB on the Fear of Missing Out all the time, but at this point we're at we have tempo, right? So with 2 open, they do go Bitter Triumph before the Bahamut gets to hand, and then they plan on discarding Bahamut on the Fear of Missing Out. Instead, they discarded the Lumra on the Bitter Triumph. It's going to be an uphill battle for sure. Already at 8. We haven't been able to really establish anything here. Demand Answers, get the Bahamut to the grave. Fear of Missing Out. See what else they send here. Land. Still got 2 cards in hand. But 2 Zombifies out of the deck list. I don't know if this is going to be like a Rakdos Joins Up style too, or I don't exactly know what we're going to be up against. Alright, Koma, come down, do the thing, buddy. Come on, buddy. Let's do this. I'd love to get a Koma victory. It's on the board. Ward 4. What are you going to do, opponent? The opponent says, spend 7 mana on my removal spell. No, it would be 6 mana actually for like a Bitter Triumph or something. Oh no, it is going to be the Bitter Triumph too. This is rough, man. We're going down to 4 in significant danger. We're really hoping the opponent misses removal here. Other words, I don't know how we're going to get through. 2, 3, 4. We won't. If we go Fenrir, we only have one play. So I guess it should be Overlord, right? Over the Fenrir. But now I wouldn't mind deck thinning. They untap here. Either way, if it's removal, it might as well be the Fenrir. And then what we could do is get the impending on the Overlord. Yeah, these games have been rough. I feel like they don't have to be this rough, right? Because we're totally doing the Simic ramp thing. If the opponent ended up top decking here, if it's removal, we're out of the game. Oh, good game, opponent. Bahamut comes back, removes the Fenrir. They swing for 4. It's like I said, man, it doesn't have to be this brutal, right? I don't know if I'm willing to blame the deck list here quite yet. These have been really, really tough uphill battles, and so far we're showcasing the ramp side of things. We're ramping fine. The 24 mana has felt fine so far too. Poor Koma immediately got removed by a 6 mana Bitter Triumph, but I'll tell you what, the ward ability comes in handy much more if you can successfully ramp a little earlier into the Koma as well. This could potentially be a deck list. Now, we saw, I mean, we know because you guys saw the deck list that I skipped the Llanowar Elves this time round. Maybe it would be a worthwhile pick. Early creature in here. 2 mana. If we see the green source, fantastic hand. If we don't see the green source, we're in danger. I'm going to keep it. We're going to give it a shot. If they've all been tough uphill battles, there we go. Then, I mean, at that point, we might as well risk it. See what the deck list is capable of at any point in the game, even with bad early hands. See if Seeker gets some removal out of the opponent's hand, maybe, or maybe it's going to be some Dimir tempo and they go for a Floodpitch Drowner tap. Going to be Caustic Exhale. The dragon version is usually the mill version. 3 mana open, double blue from the opponent, very likely a 3 steps ahead or something else that'll stop the Overlord. But I'm going to stick to this concept of we might as well, right? I'm on the edge of my seat, opponent. It lands! Huzzah! Holy cow, that's great news. That keeps us in this really well, guys. Wildling? Based on the board state, based on the hand, doesn't matter. Grab a forest. Totally fine. Forest comes down. Serpent. If they let us keep the Serpent, it's totally worthwhile using the Exhaust ability there. Totally worth it next turn. Well, unless we see the mana. If we see the 6th and the opponent taps out even a little bit, then the Impostor Syndrome should be pretty good. They don't end up tapping out. We do see the 6th mana. We got double Impostor Syndromes in hand. We might as well go for it. We can start with the swing. Maybe they drop some removal on the Seeker instead of taking 1. I really doubt that, right? See what they do here. Yeah, I guess we could have copied the Seeker if the Impostor Syndrome lands, but we were kind of hoping for some amount of mana to tap down. That's well worthwhile, guys. You don't have to go crazy with the Impostor Syndrome right away. We'll see if it lands, and then it's probably the second one next turn before combat then. Since they chose to keep the Seeker around, we can expect them to keep the Seeker around next turn too. And so second Impostor Syndrome first. We'll see if we can get some copies here. They are going to go into the Flood Maw for the Skyserpent, which is pretty good. Good tempo play from the opponent. They pass it back, 7th mana. Overlord's about to power up, and they're two lands away from their top end board wipe. I'm gonna go for some deck thinning here, guys. Over the second Impostor Syndrome. We're really hoping that they tap out before the Impostor Syndrome comes down, but... Alright, we can do this on their turn too, right? It doesn't say anything about sorcery speed, so we might as well hold it open. Overlord powers up here. Consult the star charts. Alright. Yep, they held it until the end. Now, with the full kicked version, they probably want to grab some counter spells now that they know that we're Simic Ramp. However, Koma can't be countered, so it would be a pretty good card against this deck list. Do they find some land? Is another thing that they were looking for there. You know, it's funny, we were up against the Dimir control like last week or whenever that video went up. And they missed mana for so many turns, but so did we. Such a weird game. They do find their 5th here, luckily. Some pretty good deck thinning with the Skyserpent Seeker. And with 1 mana away from their board wipe. If we get Impostor Syndrome down now and copy Overlord and the Seeker, at least we get some ramp with the Overlord. Maybe the Syndrome actually sticks around. We got 2 mana open to play around specific counter spells. Actually, 3 mana open. That's nice. Let's see it, opponent. Let's see it, buddy. Can the second Impostor Syndrome land on this board? It does land on the board, guys. Wow. Oh, some tempo bounce. No, they're letting us swing with the Overlord. Extra ramp is great. Especially when it comes time to find our Doppelgang, too. Into the Floodmaw. Nice. What about the... Okay, the Serpent does get through here. Do we just go ahead and impend this again? Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. It's like I said, when it comes time for the Doppelgang, there's their 6th mana. Here it comes, guys. Yeah, so we got maybe a couple turns, depending on if they found all the combos they needed here. So wipe the board, half the deck is gone, and then River Churn on the next turn. Usually these deck lists like to hold it all in hand until it comes time. Oh no, the Doppelgang was... Like, I saw the Doppelgang get stripped into the yard here. Both Doppelgangs, guys. Was it on top, dude? Skyserpent? No, wait, was it? No, Impostor Syndrome number 3 was on top. Actually, I don't know. I have no idea what was on top there. There's another Impostor Syndrome. Guys, I don't even know if we have next turn, unfortunately. So going like Marang, River Regent for 6, bounce the Overlord, play the Overlord as a creature. Maybe we could do something. We could also try to draw into maybe Kona. All right, we'll go card draw. We can't lose all hope quite yet. They don't have the River Churn yet. So Vaultborn is really good. And play the land. Vaultborn Tyrant comes down. A hard-hitting question, just chilling this game. Not a lot of targets until they get their dragons. Alright, let's see if that is in fact game. Yes, it is. It's going to be the River Churn. A good game, opponent. Good game. Wow, really rough matches today, guys. And I think we're just going to end it there. It's not a high note, but we still showcased the ramp side of the deck list, which is the big part of this deck list. We weren't able to do anything else with it, unfortunately, except, you know, we can't say that. We did get Impostor Syndrome down, which is cool enough, right? It's an enchantment that we actually got to keep on the board, which is awesome. Simic Ramp. Yeah, it was a tough time for this deck list, huh? I think I probably should have saved this one to play on stream instead, so we could have maybe showcased another 4 games or something, and then I could have picked the best ones that really showcase what the deck list is capable of. But we can also just take a look at it here and say, wow, Standard, rude, because this is really cool, and there's a lot of power packed in, huh? Look at all this. I mean, some things that could help us survive earlier is actual early bounce, right? A second Aetherize probably wouldn't harm anything either, except when you do see the control deck lists like that Dimir Mill, right? What's Aetherize going to do? It might eventually bounce a Marang River Regent. Uh-oh, not the greatest creature to bounce, right? So, yeah, the one of Aetherize still makes sense to me, but if you want to survive earlier versus... I was going to say mono green landfall, but by the time you get your 4th, you're kind of in danger then too. So, yeah, Llanowar Elves, I started to consider it in the middle of those games. I'm going to stick to it though. We're going to just skip the Llanowar Elves for this version of Simic Ramp. That's totally fine. Now, guys, what does your version of Simic Ramp look like? Because we could have put this together so many different ways. How many of these cards do you actually, how many of these actually landed in your Simic Ramp? And speaking of which, guys, put this on the do not craft list for sure. We had a rough time today. It's really hard to tell if we just got unlucky. It's really hard to tell if that's just how the deck list is always going to perform. You just never know. Maybe I played the games out poorly and I'm being too hard on the deck list too. I don't really think so. So put it on the do not craft list, and we'll talk more about it down in the comments too. Let me know what you thought as well. Maybe you think I could have played it out better in a couple of those matches. Maybe we actually could have had a few extra victories today or something. So let's do the rearranging for the impending and the omens and all the omens, including those. And then there's the top end. So there's the rearranging, and of course you don't really want to consider Doppelgang a 2-mana card. That's definitely a top, like a top of the deck list. So X is 2, so for 8 mana Doppelgang, that is probably right around where you want to start casting it, but you will drop an X is 1 Doppelgang for 5 mana every now and then too. So for 24 mana, it felt right. I don't think I've ever had a game where we had all the land on the board. That was a crazy match, huh? And Skyserpent Seeker kind of showed its power a little bit today. While it didn't do too much, the exhaust ability is fantastic. It doesn't say grab a forest, grab an island out of the deck, grab basics, right? It doesn't say that. You just rip lands off the top, put them on the board. That's really cool, man. I like that a lot. So at some point in the super late game, when you already have all of your basics out of the deck list, whether it's from Wildling or Regent or just drawing way too many lands too, you're still able to deck thin by ripping even more lands out of the deck list. Just really neat stuff. Even the lander token on the Divert Disaster is grabbing basics too, so. Now with Doppelgang in here, we could have considered a desert or two to give us an alternative win condition. That's still going to be a pretty hard way to win the game, right? The main win condition here is our incredible top end. Can we get some chunky creatures through? Do we start copying the chunky creatures? Do we restock our hand? Yeah. The main win condition doesn't have to be a lonely desert with Doppelgang. The main win condition is big chunky things as early as possible. Let's start copying them. And Impostor Syndrome, look, I have all 4 of them in here, but this could easily be a 2 of. Why do I have all 4? Well, I wanted to see it no matter what. Number 1, I pooled all of these. I didn't have to craft these, so that was nice. Number 2, I really wanted to see it no matter what, and we did. Mission accomplished. But does the deck list actually want 4? Probably not. I'd say 2 is completely fine and go up more interaction for the opponent. And I say that like you guys are going to put it together. But remember, do not craft list. Let's do some rearranging, see how expensive it actually is here too. We do have some commons and uncommons, I suppose. But mostly it's going to be rares and mythics is my guess. That's a good chunk of uncommons so far. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we got 8 rares and what is that? 11 mythics. That's a chunk of mythics, guys. Yep, put it on the do not craft list, and don't forget the mana base also being rares, but at least you can play those in other Simic builds as well. The Simic land being incredible here. And you guys can see I didn't even opt for all 4 Multiversal Passage. I didn't even go up any other dual land. Just kind of unnecessary for this one. We got incredible mana fixing off of everything, including like Overlord of the Hauntwoods and everything too. So I really like the Vivien Reid, underplayed Planeswalker right now for sure. It's underplayed because getting to 5 mana and playing Vivien means you probably die next turn. That is how fast Standard is. As a matter of fact, that I'm including ramp in that equation. Ramping to your 5th, getting Vivien down, you're still sweating next turn, which means maybe by the time you get Vivien, you're kind of just going to go -3, hit a flying creature. I don't know. What if they don't have a flying creature? So instead, you kind of hold on to Vivien until you actually have a little bit more on the board state. Then it comes down in the late game instead as a way to restock your hand with your other top end creatures. Still, an incredible Planeswalker, guys. Keep your eye on it for sure. Guys, am I being too hard on the deck list? This was a similar case to yesterday's deck list too, right? So I don't know. Maybe it's just a rough day of Magic the Gathering. It's really hard to tell sometimes. So let me know in the comments for sure what you thought. And I love Simic Ramp so much. We'll definitely be revisiting it. So that's why one of the reasons why I asked you what your Simic Ramp looks like. Maybe you do something a little fancier with the mana base. Maybe you actually lean into those deserts, or maybe you go for a more cave style deck list, right? Maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to put it together, so let me know. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.